Carry on now. We're going to now talk about how to run a mobile games as a service for decades. And we've got Niina here from Rovio. Come on up, Niina.
Hello, welcome everybody. Nice to meet you. I'm Niina Ojala from Rovio. I'm leading product management in Rovio's technology unit called Beacon. Maybe some of you know about it. And I'm here to talk about how Beacon can help run games as a service for decades. So it's actually, I have so many stories and examples to tell you, so I need my notes to remember to tell you everything that I wanted to tell you. So firstly, I would like to just very briefly introduce you to what Beacon is about, and especially the technology suite that we have. Secondly, you will hear lots of hopefully useful, interesting examples how to run games as a service for decades and how our Beacon can help with that. And finally, I wanted to show you a short video how one of our bigger games is using Beacon, and hopefully that will give you even more elaborated examples. Overall, Beacon's mission is really to enable our games to craft joy for our players. Players are definitely in the center in everything we do. So the technology stack of Beacon includes around 50 interconnected services that helps our advertising teams, user acquisition teams, game teams, business intelligence team, analysts, so many teams to in their work. So we have, in summary, we have services and tools that to bring games to market. We have tools to profitably grow games through user acquisition, keep players engaged and live operate the games, monetize with in-app purchases and ad monetization, and of course ensuring safe gaming experience and private handling of the player data. I will use these game life cycle phases in my presentation, so let me introduce you first these phases. In the prototyping phase, it's all about exploring and innovating new game designs and developing different versions and testing what works in the early audiences. In the soft launch phase, it's about testing the marketability and doing first in-game advertising monetization tests. In the going global phase, you want to start to scale and starting to scale globally reaching the audiences and making the game available for different player segments. And finally, in the scaling up phase, at scale phase, you really want to optimize the player experience, but also how you monetize the game through in-app purchases and in-game ads. So what matters in the prototyping phase? How our game teams are using it and how Beacon can support you. So we have really the player is in the center of everything in Beacon. It starts with the player. We collect and connect with the player and collect player data and data throughout the player journey. So in the prototyping phase, the game teams already get a variety of dashboards and reports and player-level data out of the box so that they can use that and analyze the early game versions. We, of course, also have spent quite a lot of time carefully managing the player privacy of the data. Examples of the out-of-the-box analytics include standard dashboards, which include daily active user metrics, retention metrics for day 1, day 7, and so on. We have in-app purchases, revenue, and conversion metrics. We have ads revenue metrics. And behind the scenes, we have a data lake, which includes lots of pseudonymized player-level metrics about activity, purchases, ads impressions, and so on, as well as cohort-level purchases and attribution and user acquisition KPIs. And all these metrics are available within our self-service analytics tooling. Then in the soft launch phase, we focus on the user acquisition campaigns and first ad monetization campaigns and optimizing the monetization of the games. The user acquisition tools and what our user acquisition teams and game teams are focusing on include marketing campaign optimization with payback modeling, with standard set of KPIs and metrics, and also rigorous governance monitoring and reporting to ensure the profitability of the success of the user acquisition campaigns. The user acquisition campaign level profitability, we both consider the past performance of the campaigns, but also we use data science and data modeling to predict the lifetime value of the players, so that whenever we optimize and select the user acquisition campaigns and the network we use, we can ensure optimal performance also in the longer term, so that we can focus and get most of the spending players into the games. During the soft launch, you also probably want to start the ad monetization testing. In Beacon, we have our own ads mediation, which enables then granular optimization of ads placements and player segmentation, and also monetization across the in-app purchases, spending players versus the non-spending players who just like to watch ads and get benefits via that. One thing that is important in this phase, we think, is already to start enable remote configurability of the game. So you want to ensure the best player experience within the game, but if every time you change something, you need to deliver a new client version, that slows you down. So in Beacon, we support the tools so that you can, we call it app configurations, remotely configuring the app settings and experience for the players. So definitely you would want to start with that already in this phase. In the global launch, then you want to reach to the wider audience, and it's of course still about making good player experience and fun for the players, but it's also internally you need to start more and more to look into the efficiency, how you run your operations. So things like personalization, or automating the personalization, live ops events, player communication, and player support have already been important, but start to be very important in this phase when you want to go global. For instance, with the personalization, you maybe want to consider what offers you give to the first-time users versus to your more engaged users. The game really also needs to feel fresh every day, so that the returning players, the engaged players you have, when they come to your game, to these kind of games that we have, they really are expecting to get new content basically every day. But it's also important that when you get the new players in, so that they, like any day of the week that they join in, so they get the welcome events or personalized for experience for the new players. In Beacon, we also handle the privacy regulations, actually very, very granular level and seriously. We cover about like tens of different countries, specific rules for data sharing to third-party networks, age limitations, and feature limitations, depending on the different regulations in different countries around the world. In the at-scale phase, really the game starts to be really complex, if you have done everything I've talked about at least. And the audience also start to be very wide. You have loads of players, loads of different kind of player segments, and they of course have their different preferences and requirements. And you want to try to cater to all those needs as well as you can. So to give you a few examples, what we do in our games at Rovio. So for instance, we really focus on personalizing the first-time user experience. the new players that install the game, they have, or at least the ones that are coming via an advertising. So they have seen an creative in an advertisement, and that's their expectation for the game. So, for instance, you could think of customizing the live ops events, the first event that the new player sees from this campaign that's based on the creative, or maybe you want to personalize if the creative included a mini game, then maybe you want to personalize what is the event based on that in the game that they see, or from the monetization point of view, maybe you want to select the price point, what you offer, what kind of in-game purchases you offer to the new players. And of course, this requires close collaboration between the user acquisition team and the game team. Another example is really to think about the holistically about the player experience in this at-scale phase. So you don't want to just do one tweak there or here and then think about that this gives the best player experience. But it's best that you think about across everything, live ops events, player communication, different content in the game. So that's what Beacon also offers tooling for. Finally, one more example is about ads frequency in the games where you have in-game ads. So optimizing for non-spenders, maybe you try to give them more frequently ads and they get benefits in the game, versus the spenders, maybe you don't want to interfere their gaming experience with so many ads. And of course, you can do this with manually selecting the frequencies for different player segments, or Beacon also offers automated machine learning models to do this optimization. Finally, how it all works. Just before I show you the video, we have, when everything is integrated via Beacon SDK within the game client, we have a web-based, web browser-based dashboard where the game teams can, and user acquisition teams and ad monetization teams, they can configure settings, game like experience for the players, A/B tests, and other features within the game and what happens in the background also. Let's see if the video works. So I believe this will show you.
Hello, my name is Niki and I am the lead product manager for Angry Birds Dream Blast. Our game, just like all Rovio titles, contains Rovio's game tech platform called Beacon at its core, and we use its powerful features for every step of the game lifecycle. We rely on Beacon in the development and publishing process, UA campaigns, live operations, and with everything starting from terms of service and aid check flows to live operations, A/B testing, and analytics. Beacon has been designed at Rovio from the ground up over the course of 10 years and has been an indispensable tool in our work. I'd like to show you some of the powerful features that Beacon offers to all Rovio game teams. We have first-hand experience and deep understanding of the perfect set of ingredients required to grow the audience and create lifetime fans. Beacon tools for player engagement play a big role and allow us to do just that. For example, Beacon includes support for in-game messaging and surveys that can be utilized alongside audience segmentation rules. Let's take a look. In this example, we configure a rule that allows displaying a welcome message to the first-time users and a different message for returning users. We could also configure a number of other services here, such as the assets we deliver to a game client or the number of ads we display to users. It is possible to define a specific schedule for the rule to be active and target users on a very detailed level based on a number of criteria, including player activity and purchases, as well as device properties and any custom parameters that the game sends. So all rule configurations, including sequences and priorities of rules, are added directly into the view, and we can launch the campaign immediately by switching on the rule. Once the rule is live, Analyze allows us to track stats and performance of the setup, and we can adjust it based on the collected analytics. With Beacon, you can easily run user segmentation and experiments to determine what content, offers, campaigns, price points, or level difficulty works best for a given player segment, or even for an individual player. Built-in machine learning makes it possible to create highly personalized experiences for each player, catering to individual preferences. Machine learning engine takes previous player behavior into account as well as user preferences across a wide range of touchpoints. These models are learning constantly and improve their decisions to optimize the selected game target, which could be revenue, conversion, or retention, among others. In this example, we have configured an A/B test delivering personalized gaming experience to different player segments. The parent rule defines the high-level targeting. There are two child rules, one control variant which is created automatically and one personalized rule using retention as the business metric to optimize. This rule automatically assigns players between the child rules, gameplay personalization 1 and 2, where I added game-specific personalization parameters. This powerful functionality allows us to deliver a fun and rewarding experience that players want to come back to over and over again. Let's take a look at the LiveOps calendar in Beacon. It is another great example of how we bring our games to life every day, with in-game seasonal events, daily events, offers to be scheduled on the fly across multiple time zones, all configured in the Beacon dashboard. Naturally, all offers and content from the LiveOps calendar are delivered to the game without a need for a client update. Changes to the event configuration are available to players instantly, which allows us to keep the game fresh and deliver new exciting content and events in a very simple way. Events can be unique one-time offers, recurring competitions, seasonal content packs, and any event can be configured to rely on any personalization rule, bringing the power of segmentation and machine learning algorithms.
That's it. Any questions?
It's difficult to try and avoid the speaker because I'm being told that I'm having difficulty kind of being heard because of the speaker position, but I don't want to come behind because I won't be able to rush and talk to people. So does anyone have any questions? If you're wondering why I'm over this side, that's why. Anyone got any questions? Okay, just I think the hand over here was first.
Thank you. This might get a bit technical soon, but in terms of content, how opinionated Beacon is in terms of the format of the content?
Opinionated?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, like technically. Like, does it care what technical format I use for my content?
You use, no. I mean, basically, if I understand the question, basically, from Beacon's point of view, we have JSONs that you configure, and then however your game client then interprets the JSON, that's your selection. Yes, seems like it answers the question. Was there another?
There was another question over here.
Yeah, just one question for context, because I don't know if Beacon is like your internal tool or co-development tool and so on, or is a tool that is available like as a service for external developers and so on?
It's internal. Unfortunately, I would love to offer it to everybody.
I mean, it looks pretty cool, huh? It looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm jealous, yeah.
Of course, now that we are part of Sega, then Sega games get to use it. But yeah.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy for Sega.
Any more questions? It's a good job that there's somebody developing a tool that does some other similar things. I'm not saying that I'm doing that. Oh, wait, I am.
The lights are so bright, I have to do this to see the audience.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone else got any questions? On that note, I'm going to say thank you very much.
Thank you. It was nice to be here.